I'm Devon Delmar. I'm co-writer and co-director of Carissa, and I'm one half of the directing team. Jason Jacobs just couldn't be here, but yeah, we are the team, and it feels kind of weird to not have him here because everything we do is together, and we develop this thing completely between ourselves. So it's a bit strange to be on my own, but that's me. So Carissa is a film about kind of a choice between tradition and modernity. I think that's kind of the central question that we're sitting with as writers, as ourselves. And Carissa is a woman who has to come to terms between what her heritage is and what expectations are placed upon her by her family and just general society. And she's in this small village in the Cederberg Mountains in South Africa, and there's this kind of limitations placed on her life, and she also doesn't know where she wants to be or what she wants to do. And so she gets these opportunities to maybe leave the city, but at the same time she gets the opportunity to go and explore what it is to be a harvester, to follow her grandfather's footsteps of rooibos. And so the film is really about unpacking these questions about identity. Who are we? What do we do with the time that we're given? And ultimately, do we even have a choice? There are external factors that kind of force your life into a certain direction that there's no control over. So many things. It was 7 years in the making of really a lot of conversations between Jason and myself. I think that's where our films are born. That's where all our ideas come from. We talk for hours every day about our childhoods, our dreams, our insecurities, just what's going on in our lives and what's going on around us. And they're essentially like therapy sessions between the two of us. And eventually out of those conversations, they're just sparks of ideas eventually start coming out. And we just kind of, I think this film was really born out of these insecurities that we have about who we are and how we're going to define our hopefully 80, 100 years on Earth. What are we doing with our time, and what does it mean to embrace our heritage with all its thorniness? We come from various different backgrounds, Jason and I think we really lean into that in our writing. We try not to shy away from our cultural and racial differences, but really lean into them. And I think this film is a consequence of the two of us, through this character of Carissa, really kind of just grappling with those ideas. Who are we? What do we do? And paired with that is kind of the spiritual questions that we're also trying to ask, which is a bit more, we focus on nature and the world around us. Are we in nature or are we nature? Like, is there a separation? Have we limited or defined ourselves maybe incorrectly? That perhaps this is all nature, and we shouldn't think that nature is something out there, but that it's kind of within us. It is us. We are the embodiment of this one spirit that is trying to express itself in various ways. So all these various strange conversations that Jason and I delve into on a day-to-day basis funnels itself into a 90-minute film eventually. Yeah, good question. I think. On a sort of personal level, I would recommend it to my family. I'd be able to recommend this film to my mom and dad to watch. That it's not just kind of a very serious, difficult, impenetrable film that you can't access. I think it's a film that can really speak to various people. It's accessible. I think we delve into quite serious ideas. There's a lot of various serious topics that we kind of unpack in this film. Beyond the themes of identity, there's all about, alcohol plays a big part in this film, and the effects of that on a community. There's a lot about these choices between economic. There's a lot of hardship in the film, and for example, the company that comes into this village is promising financial freedom, but there's a massive cost to the community at that. So it touches on a lot of things that's really happening in the world. It's really happening in this community in Wuppertal where we shot. And I mean, they play an enormous part in shaping the film to what it is now. It's not just, it's not a, we didn't use Wuppertal as a backdrop, you know, as opposed to, you know, we really kind of try to bring out what's really occurring in this place. But going back to the accessibility of the story, it's very serious topics, but it's really, anyone can watch this film, I think, and they can find various parts of themselves in it. So all ages, from young to old, I think a lot of people will find themselves in this character who is struggling to find herself. And I think that's what's universally accessible. Enjoy this film. I don't know if there's more to say. Thank you for having us in your city. I think that's first and foremost. It's a real honor to be here. It's kind of crazy for us that our film can come, you know, from this mountainous village, for that representation to happen on screen in a place like Stockholm is incredible. I think it shouldn't be underestimated, kind of the achievement for everyone who was on set, who's in front of camera and behind the camera, for the film, for their hard work to be here and showing around the world, and our stories being told in our language, with the different faces and different people expressing. You know, there's no like unified idea coming through the film. There's a diversity and a lot of contrasting opinions and viewpoints. And I think that's quite exciting. There isn't a homogeneous image of Africa or South Africa or the Cederberg, you know, at various levels. And I think to bring that kind of level of complexity, I hope audiences in Stockholm can delve in and grapple with it as well.